Level 1. You wake to the silence of your apartment. Phone buzzes once on the nightstand. A notification, a number you cannot parse. You rub sleep from your eyes. Open the bank app. $4 million. Your thumb hovers over the screen. Your brain rejects it like a fever dream. No sender name, no memo, no error code, just digits. You check the timestamp. 3:12 a.m. You refresh. The number refuses to evaporate. You call the bank. On hold. Elevator music is thin and patient. You log into the website. Same balance. You screenshot it like proof for a future you. You tell yourself this is a mistake. You tell yourself someone will call. You tell yourself you will return it. You stare at the money until the room blurs. Temptation moves in like a second heartbeat. It whispers houses, plane tickets, a life where bills vanish. You make lists. You imagine the perfect bank of strangers who never ask questions. You laugh at yourself for thinking like that. You check the account history again. No inbound reference, no return instruction, just a clean drop into your name. You fall asleep with the image of zeros carved into your mind. Level 2 days pass. No reversal, no phone call from the bank. The number sits on your phone like a loaded silence. You test it. You move money to a separate account, small legal transfers, to see if any flags rise. Nothing. You start to dream in furniture. You plan a new apartment on the 30th floor. You pretend this is the universe being kind. You tell trusted friends vague things. They blink across the table at you like they are seeing a stranger. You begin to map escape routes of discomfort and obligation. You find yourself imagining a life where you never go back to the job that fits like a cinder block. You taste guilt and exhilaration at the same time. You go to sleep with the bank balance glowing on your nightstand. You tell yourself you will do the right thing. Your right thing keeps changing. Level 3. You are parked in the grocery store at dusk when he appears. He is ordinary in a way that is meant to be invisible. Mid-40s, plain jacket, a face you might forget if you did not feel the absurd script of coincidence tightening in your gut. You notice him because he notices you. He crosses the parking lot with a purpose that looks practiced. He stops beside your car. He doesn't smile. He tells you he is with a private client. He says nothing about banks. He calls you by your full name. You do not know how he got your number. He slides an envelope across the hood. Inside, a card, black type. Clean pair of hands, it says. He explains it like a manual. The transfer was deliberate. You were selected, not by accident, because you look like someone who wouldn't be noticed, because you live alone, because your credit history is bland, because you have no headline, because you are susceptible. He says it like a compliment. He says the plan is simple. Load the cash. Move it by Friday. The money is a relay baton. Your account is the first hand that doesn't flinch. You say you think there has been a mistake. He laughs once. Not warm. He says mistakes are convenient myths. There is no mistake here. You are either a participant or an exhibit. If you refuse, he says, there are other ways to complicate your life. The implication hangs like an unmarked weapon. He leaves as quietly as he arrived. You hold the envelope until your fingers ache. Level 4. You sit at your kitchen table and trace the outline of the choice like a crime scene investigator. You Google phrases. Money mule. Straw account. Clean pair of hands. The words arrive with a new kind of weight. You read case histories in small font. People like you, they say. People with ordinary names. People with mundane routines. The pattern is surgical. You were not chosen randomly. You were selected. Someone watched you and liked what they saw. You imagine surveillance, social feeds, receipts, habits mapped into a dossier. You were safe until you were useful. The horror is not the cash. The horror is that someone decided you were expendable and trusted. You call a lawyer. You speak in hypotheticals. The lawyer's voice is crisp and frankly bored. Even unwitting mules can face charges, he says. He lists possibilities: money laundering, conspiracy, aiding criminal activity. You ask about intent. He corrects you. Intent matters, but not always. Paper trails matter. Your name in a ledger matters. You are a node. You could be frozen, subpoenaed, indicted, long before the truth clears. Level 5. You learn the mechanics quickly because you have to. Money is moved in layers. Wire to account, withdrawal to cash, billeted through drop accounts. Each movement is designed to blur origins. The faster the transfers, the weaker the trail appears. But the trail exists. Banks have anti-money laundering teams. They monitor sudden spikes, odd counterparties, geographic anomalies. They take time, days, weeks. That time is your trap. Investigations are slow. Operations are nimble. The criminals know the lag window. The banks know the law and their obligation to report. Law enforcement's hands are often tied until a pattern emerges. Between those gears, you are squeezed. You could be given immunity if you cooperate and help trace the network. You could be treated as a suspect. You could be left dangling. And then there is retaliation. Organizations with this kind of money do not tolerate leaks. Refusal can be messy. Compliance can be more messy. Either choice risks the clean life you once had. Level 6 Friday approaches like a tombstone. You are handed options that are not options. Comply, accept the cash. Withdraw the money in smaller increments. Pass it to other accounts under instruction. Be a conduit. The legal system can forgive cooperation. But the more you touch, the deeper the stain. Refuse. Return the money. Report it. Hope the bank and law enforcement move fast enough. Risk the ire of people who watch, who have ways of making silence expensive. Flee. Take the money and run. Start over. But running with that money is a life sentence of paranoia. Banknotes traceable in transit. Men asking questions. You weigh them like an arithmetic of fear. You think about family, friends, your landlord, the job you were going to quit. You imagine subpoenas. You imagine men waiting at your threshold. You imagine every mundane detail turned into evidence. You imagine waking up to strangers in your home. You imagine the suddenness of a siren and your name read aloud in a sterile room. Level 7. The psychological assault is worse than the legal one. You replay the parking lot again and again. He told you why you were chosen. It is the quietest kind of violence. You were groomed by being unremarkable. That knowledge is a corrosive whisper. You look at your reflection and see a target. You realize your mailbox, your commute, the coffee shop, your gym, all exposed in theory and perhaps in practice. You begin to count cameras where you never did. You start deleting the parts of your life that made you visible. You stop making plans. Peace is now an endangered species. Final beat, the cliffhanger. Friday at noon. The bank balance is still there. You have a duffel bag half filled with cash because you prepared for the worst, and the worst was obedience on paper. A second envelope sits on your table. The card inside reads, 2 options, live quietly or disappear loudly. You hear a car door close at the end of your block. Your phone vibrates. A message. We need the cash by 1800. No police, no paper. Be on time. You stand in the small square of your kitchen light and feel the room tilt. You can already see the prosecutor slides in your head. You can already feel the look on your mother's face if she hears your name in a trial. You can imagine the hand that selected you, smiling at how cleanly it all worked. You are not a mistake. You are a vector. You are offered complicity as a lifeline. You are offered silence as a currency. What do? Do you hand over the money and become a shadow in someone else's ledger? Do you call the authorities and hope the wheel of justice turns faster than the wheel of retribution? Do you vanish with the keys to a fortune and a trail that leads back to you? The clock bleeds time. You breathe once. Outside, a car idles. Inside, your name appears on your bank statement forever. You pick up your phone. Your thumb hesitates over a number you might dial. The line between victim and perpetrator narrows to the width of a decision. What would you do?